Hello again, listeners, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. I'm your host, Bruce, and as usual, Chama. I'm a
Well,
smiley boy.
yeah,
I mean, like,
I have a 7 day smile this week. You have
you
have a
guys
like
have been smiling for too long, man. It's time.
no,
It's time
7 days.
to break that smile, you know.
Today is the final day. Today is the final day. Then we will back to normal.
It's all right. It's no problem. You accept it as part of football. You know, it happens. But yeah, like, let me just get it out of the way. You guys trashed us 7-0. Very unprecedented. I don't think it's ever happened before between like a derby team, two derby teams. But yeah, it happens. And there's no explanation, to be honest. I can't explain to you what happened. So it's just one of those freak results. So yeah, I mean, it happens, man. But yeah, we will talk about that in detail. So
Yeah,
we are
definitely.
recording yeah, double game week 27 preview. Um it's been a while, so apologies to our listeners that have been trying to watch recent episodes. Due to scheduling conflicts and some other things, we couldn't record the past 2 weeks. But yeah, we are back. Hopefully, we hopefully keep this streak on.
For the rest of the season.
So jumping right into it, Chama. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Game week 26. I'm sure you're one of those that didn't wildcard. So
yeah. I think
you're lucky.
that's where we have to start. Yeah, definitely.
I
I was one
know,
of them.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of them. But you were one of the un, not so unfortunate. But for you, your workout, I think it did decent work, but I think there are some wildcats out there that they were crying really bad because
Yeah. It
it
was. It
really
was. It was. It
backfired
was
on
really
them.
bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you are having to pick within two players, Brighton players, who
Hmm.
to start, and then people started mad
And then yeah. Yeah.
over
Yeah.
Mitoma or McAllister
Hmm.
and stuff like that, and also selling all your Liverpool players, and then Liverpool
Yeah.
coming
Fine
up with that.
margins, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was a brutal game week for wildcarders. I feel sorry
Yeah.
for you guys because I could see the appeal to wildcard. There was the reason to
Hmm.
wildcard. Liverpool were not a 7-0 win. It was never that.
Nobody expected that, to
No,
be honest. Yeah,
exactly.
there's no
Nobody
way.
expected that.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be tight. Like maybe some Liverpool fans will hope that they will win the game, but there was nobody expecting a heavy score like that,
Hmm.
crazy score where all the Liverpool attackers will be on double digit returns and stuff like that. So it was really tough. And yeah, but I understand why people did the wild card because it was a well planned,
Hmm.
sequential game weeks. There was a blank coming, there was a double game week coming. So you try to tap into all these things, but it kind of squeezes you into the players you can get, and that kind of become the problem for the wildcarders. But how did you feel after
I
this wildcard?
I think for me, I was lucky because I chose the right players. Also, there were a few differentials like Chilwell because I was going for James and then he got injured. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just bring in Chilwell. Because both of them are quite good. But I would prefer to have James. But he's been on and off this season. So I was like, okay, Chilwell is fine. Put him in. You can actually just get the clean sheets. I wasn't expecting he would get like how many points? 8 points or so.
12 points.
So
Actually,
yeah, it
he
was
got an
like
assist.
yeah, 10 points. So another thing was also because the results they were some FA Cup results that were not confirmed before 26. You understand? So people were out. People managers like me, I was contemplating or trying to debate between 26 wildcard and 27 wildcard.
Yeah,
Initially, it was 27 wildcard. It was supposed to be.
yeah,
You understand? But when the full schedule came out, I was like, okay, there's no point waiting till 27.
yeah.
Just
You do it.
do it
Yeah,
at 26. You understand? So that was like, if you're one of those managers, like, ah man, I wish I just waited one more game week. Maybe I could. I had Salah in my team.
yeah,
I wasn't thinking of Darwin, to be honest, but I had Salah, I had Trent.
yeah.
So at least having that would have taken me probably to around 70 something, almost close to 80. You never know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just fine margins, man. It happens. It's part of the game. Like for me, I feel like there's no regrets. It's the
No,
planning that
absolutely.
is the most important thing. So just
Absolutely. I
yeah.
absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
I
Yeah.
I think I heard some managers blaming some content creators, which is I don't think that's
That's not
fair
right.
to them. They're
It's not
just
right
giving
at
you
all.
what they feel. Yeah, it's their opinion. It's up to you to adopt the plan that they have or what they're telling
Absolutely.
you to take the advice on. It's totally
Absolutely.
your
I think
responsibility. So yeah, go
the
on.
best advice you can give to any FPL manager is like any plans that are put in place there, just take them as information and then you digest it by yourself and see if it fits
Hmm.
your own needs. But don't copy
Exactly.
what other people do. If you copy, then it's easy to blame other people for your misfortunes. But of course, we know in FPL we have seen in the past few seasons where teams will just copy what somebody does from game week 1 to the final game week. Just keep copying what
Yeah.
they do because they are content. Yeah, these are the same people that will be complaining. So at the end of the day, I don't
Yeah.
feel sorry for those kind of people because why should you copy somebody's team? This is not the game. This is a game. So you have to at least put in your own effort to get something. So if you just copy somebody and then it backfires on you, well, I feel no sympathy for those kind of people, to be honest.
I don't. I feel like you're not playing the game if you don't make like
Absolutely,
at
yeah.
least a bit of some key decisions. 1 or 2 players. There's no way you can copy somebody like Dito like player for player. It doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I mean that's just part of the game. So
Yeah,
let's jump into some of the results. I think Man City Newcastle. Obviously, nobody expected anything
yeah,
different in that game. To be honest, I expected Man City will win. I was
yeah.
expecting a bigger margin, but looking at it, it makes sense.
Yeah, please tell us.
Arsenal Bournemouth was a bit of a surprise.
Interesting game.
Like
Very
Bournemouth just
interesting.
came in and scored 2. I was like, wow, this is impressive. And then Arsenal, man, I think they're gonna win the league this time around. Like they
Yeah,
they they have the belief,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
think they have the mentality is there, and that's what you want to see.
exactly.
Fighting, scraping back the points, and coming from behind and winning games like these. These are the like very like important games to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting result
Um.
to be honest. The Arsenal one,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I watched the start of the game a few like and then slept because it's late. But the first goal that
Mhm.
Bournemouth scored from in the like 19 seconds or 16 seconds, it
Wow.
was set piece routine, exceptional stuff. like like I
uh,
was like I sit back and okay, this was really the Martin O'Neill, their coach, is not somebody you it's not the big name coaches you will say in the Premier League. But the way they started that game, the plan they set for Arsenal to score them in that manner, it was exceptional. You should go and look that goal if you don't see it. To be honest,
yeah.
I love it.
I think they were pretty disappointed in themselves that they didn't win the game, because they played the perfect game, coming out and leading 2-0 at the start. So
Yeah,
yeah,
2-0, and then Arsenal scored in the final kick of the game. But also,
yeah.
I
I
would say
mean,
that Arsenal were a bit hard done by. They should have had a penalty. To be honest, I see some
okay.
dubious calls from the referee, ignoring some very very bad decisions in that game.
Mm.
So Arsenal, if they did not win that game, I'm sure they would have been fuming, crazily fuming.
It
But thank
matters,
God,
man. Every point matters at this point
every
right
point
now.
matters, especially you are going
Yeah.
against Manchester City. You know this team,
Yep.
like
Yep.
you never
hmm
underestimate Manchester City.
You can
Anytime
they can just come and start winning like
like
continuously until the
crazy,
end of the season.
Yeah,
It's not beyond them, man. Yeah.
yeah.
So the big one, the 7-0. To be honest, as a fan, like it was early. I could have watched it, but I was like, there's no point. But when I saw first half, because it's one of those games, even though it's a derby, like when it comes to a derby, you never know what's gonna happen. You can see a team that's struggling, like lose like 5 games straight, and then they have a derby and then they win. So like it happens. But I was not expecting like a 6 goal scored in the second half. That didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And credit to you guys. You guys like saw that like our team just capitulated and decided to just be ruthless. And it's football. It happens.
Yeah,
I hope
definitely.
that for me, yeah, for me as a fan, I hope that they will learn from this. I heard that the coach made them sit down in silence and hear you guys celebrate in the dressing room. That has to be painful as a football player.
It
To
is
be honest,
painful.
I don't know how painful that is, but yeah, it reminds you that you need to do better next time.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on the game? I'm sure you guys are happy and still celebrating some areas. So,
Yeah, we are
I
celebrating.
was
Anyways,
fun
let me
to
just
push.
like a quick apology. My mic I had my mic on, but it was quite far from me. I just pushed it close to me right now. So maybe for the first part of the video might not be as loud as should be because the mic was a little bit away
Mhm.
from me. But yeah, I think it was like, a big statement, and that is what we needed, I think. And that's why
Mm.
when we saw um some form of vulnerability from you guys, we we decided to take this opportunity very well. Like,
Mm.
because if you remember last season, I think we beat you guys 5-0 at Old Trafford, right? And
Mhm.
in that game, we were in a better state. In other words, we were
Oh
a
yeah, you
good
guys were
team.
at the top of
We are
your yeah,
winning and
yeah,
stuff like that.
definitely.
So it was a routine kind of win. Of course, not a 5-0 win, but everybody I would not say because I can remember people captaining Salah in that game. If you remember well, game week 9. I'm not sure if you did it, but I can remember a few Manchester United fans captaining Salah in that particular game when he scored the hat-trick last season against you guys at Old Trafford. So it was kind of expected for Liverpool to win that game. And when Liverpool get to 5, they kind of relax and then stop playing. But this time,
But the thing was,
this time is different. This time, kind of the team kind of felt like we have had a very bad season, and now we have this opportunity to cause damage to our fiercest rivals. And then we kept going, like when the referee when the fourth official lifted his board for 3 minutes at a time, Liverpool fans were disappointed. That is how much we wanted to beat Manchester United so bad. Because still now people are talking about why did they give it 3 games? Because every goal should be at least 1 minute or at least 45 seconds. So we scored 6 in the second half, and all the substitutions. At least there should have been 6 minutes added on. And then we expected to score more goals during that period. So Liverpool
what's the point? What's the point in scoring all those goals?
Yeah, because it's Manchester United. Like we won 8, we won 9. That was how it was. And we were angry at the same time. Compared to last season. Last season we were just okay. Let's get our points and then get out of here. We don't care how much we beat them. We are not trying to trash them.
Or is it because we beat you guys in the first leg? That's why you guys want to.
That is one reason. That could be one reason. And also we are having a very bad season. So by having this win, it's kind of give us that huge lift that we wanted. But now if we don't go on and repeat it in our next game, then it means nothing, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, if it boosts confidence, which is important right now, then that's fine, But I mean, I even there's something important, like something that's related. Is it Colina, that referee, was saying that there's a rule they were trying to implement. I just read it briefly. I didn't really put it.
I saw it. Yeah.
I think the mercy rule or something, like if a team, are clearly losing, like there's no point in adding extra time. You just blow the whistle, because what's the point? And it kind of makes sense, because man, that was hard to watch for a man. I didn't watch the game. I was like, woo! It's like I can't imagine being in that stadium watching this, and like there's nothing you can do about it. It's terrible, man. It's a terrible feeling. Anyways,
let's
go on.
But also, you have to mention Brighton. I think they need a little bit of, we need to.
Oh yeah, the phone. I didn't watch the game, but
on their performance, and even Chelsea,
Brighton,
because Chelsea, they have been struggling throughout the season. They got their first
finally,
win,
they finally got there.
Like what's that?
How many
first
games?
win in how long? For how long? I cannot remember the last time they got a win in the Premier League.
So
it was important to also mention that. But Brighton, how did the Brighton dynamics go with you? Because some managers, it was three midfielders: McAllister, Mitoma, and March. And people were contemplating which 3 to get, which 1 to get, or which 2 to get, or which, if you are going with one, which one of the 3 to get. And March seemed to be the one who was the one with the stats. McAllister was the one with the penalties, and also now playing as a number 10. And Mitoma was the exciting one, the new kid in the block. So people were very, very divided on these three picks. So it depends on where you pick. But how did that fall for you? McAllister in the end got 14 points, Mitoma 12 points, and March blanked, who should have scored, as people say.
I got March, because I think we discussed this before I wildcarded. I was going for March and Mitoma. Mitoma is there because he's on form. He's been scoring like goals for fun, and he's exciting to watch, to be honest. Well, McAllister, I think it's just recently has picked up form and he's playing further up. But there's a possibility that he might play deeper in the midfield. So his position is not clear. So I was like, but yeah, if anybody that got him, like kudos to you, because it was quite close, like between Mitoma, him, and Matt. If you get 3 of them, then I mean, you just eliminate everything. Just get all the 3, because they have some doubles coming up. Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to do it. It's how you play the game, right? You just have 3 of them and put them there, and if you go to the next after the doubles, you can just drop 1 or 2 of them and just keep one there. But if it was me, I'll go with Mitoma all day and then compare the other 2. You never know.
Actually, I'm triple up on Arsenal midfield, but it's difficult to get all 3 because midfield spots are kind of
where the points are coming from this season.
They are very, very. Even though we have 5 spots, it is a very important spot in the team, and there are some very important players around there. So to get 3 Brighton. Of course, with the way they're playing, they are the second best team in the league when it comes to expected goals created. Like since I think after the World Cup, so they are performing at the level that the big teams should be performing. So it's not a bad thing to go with them, especially considering they have a double in game week 27 and game week 29. Having all three, like you can reap some rewards from there. To be honest,
Yeah.
but
I think I
first
want
game
to
was
test my
big, right?
team. Like,
And that game was so dominant. I think West Ham had
brilliant.
3 shots in the game, like 3 shots. That's crazy,
And
right?
West Ham,
3 shots, play 90 minutes.
they've been
They've
doing
been so
well
bad.
recently.
Huh?
Yeah, no, West Ham, they kind of the past 3 or 4 games, they were not as bad as they have been throughout the season.
They have a very
That's why I was surprised that
they have a
4-0.
very indifferent. They are in the relegation battle, you know. Like if you look at the table, they are very close.
The battle is crazy. Like from 11 all the way to 20.
Yeah.
To the last team is like the points difference is what, 6 points?
Yeah.
Or 7? Oh, it's crazy, man. It's rough. And finally, Brighton, Fulham. I watched parts of this game. It was a very interesting game. Sorry, Brentford, Fulham. Oh, very interesting. I think I watched the first half. Like with the attacking, man. It's like both teams actually going for the win. But then Brentford, man, Brentford is a difficult team to play against.
They have the longest unbeaten run in the league. I think 18 games.
Yeah.
Like
they are difficult to play with because
they have not lost a game since before World Cup. They have not lost a post World Cup.
Seriously. I mean, they're doing well. Like
they're doing really well.
Fulham, we're not just keeping them at just trying to defend. They were playing too. Yeah. But Brentford just stamped their authority in the game and took over, which is good, man.
And Fulham too, they have an exciting player, Solomon. Have you seen him?
Solomon,
he scored some exceptional goals. He scored one of the goals, right?
I think he's been scoring for the last 4 games or so.
I think 3 or 4 games in a row. He's banging.
It's exciting. He's an exciting player.
When Fulham have a good fixture on, maybe he's somebody we should think about.
You never know. Yeah. Because Mitrovic didn't impress me as much.
Yeah.
So I think we've spent enough time on the results recap talking about our teams and the derby. So let's jump into the review for our own personal teams in FPL.
Yeah, my team. I can start 65. For a game team that did not wildcard, I think that was good. Good. And also, I did not make any transfer. I banked my transfer, so I'm going into this game with two free transfers. I had Kepa in goal. Akanji, I kept him. He also kept the clean sheet. Tarkowski was the disappointment in defense with 0 points. He has not done anything since I brought him in, basically.
Yeah.
And Trent with 6 points. I'm surprised that Liverpool scored 7 and Trent was not involved in any of the assists or stuff like that.
It's shocking.
It's pretty shocking.
By now, he should be having like 15 or 20 points, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I have Salah with 21 points, Martinelli 2 points, Arsenal 2 very disappointing. Odegaard 2 points, Saka 2 points, who I captain, he gave me 4 points.
The same.
And Arsenal was the team that everybody was expecting to get the points from because they were playing Bournemouth,
right?
The Premier League is crazy, man. It's really crazy.
Man.
And Haaland, I have with his 4 points. He got a yellow card. I don't know what his problem. He now want to pick up fights in the games. Like he will be running from all the way from his striking position all the way to the goalkeeping side to go and pick up fight just to get a yellow card. I don't know what's the problem with this boy.
Now we are playing FPL, huh?
Yeah, and Darwin, finally come good with his 12-pointer, and Ferguson, of course, 2 points. I was a bit disappointed with the 4 goals scored from Brighton, and Ferguson was not involved. And then Welbeck, to make matters worse, Welbeck replaced him and then scored the 4th goal in that game. But I enjoy Ferguson's game. I think he will keep his place, even though Welbeck so he's so good. Ferguson is so good. This kid is gonna go places. Like
I'm hearing good things about him, man. I think we should since we are looking for a striker, I think we can get a main striker, and then we can keep him like an understudy of a striker.
He's just 18 years old, and he's playing like a big guy, right? Seriously.
We can make him an understudy of a striker.
And, he's similar to Kane, like the size, the physique, and stuff like that. He links up play very well. He's very smart, intelligent footballer. You will see, if you watch him, you will know that. And he can score different types of goal headers, like long range efforts and stuff like that. Tap-ins in the 6-yard box. He's always there. So he's an interesting player. I'm interested to see how he grows with Brighton or wherever he goes. But he's interesting, exciting. Let's look at your team.
Yeah, 58 points. I mean, not bad for a wildcard team where
No, no,
others are
absolutely
struggling
not.
with like 30 something points or
Yeah,
40 points. I was like, wow. I think for me the difference would be Chilwell. It's just fine margins. I had
yeah,
Estupinian for the longest time. You know, when Pinnock scored, I was like, I have the wrong defender on the bench. And he's third on
uh,
the bench. You can imagine that, man.
yeah,
I was like, I wish, but if I had to do this again, I would still bench him
yeah.
because there's no way Arsenal is playing Brighton and you decide to bench Gabriel. It's
No,
like you don't do this kind of positions. But here we are. So 58 points all out. I wild carded. Kepa still in goal with 6 points. Chilwell with 10. Gabriel with 1. Estupinian with 6. Captain Saka with 4 points. Odegaard 2. Rashford 2. Mitoma with 13 points. Thank God for that. Kane with 2. Another disappointment. And 20 with 8. And Haaland with 4. So yeah, 58 points.
that was solid. That was solid
Well,
wildcard.
not so bad.
I'm sure if we were to rank the wildcard teams, your team might be at the top of the top of the piles because
Yeah,
I think the
it's
wildcard
true.
average point was less than 40 points or around 40
Hmm.
points. So yeah,
Yeah,
it is not bad. And now you have
just fine
the
margins, man.
double game
Yeah,
week to look forward to, the blank game week to look forward
yeah.
to, and the next
That
double
was what
game
I
week
was planning for,
to look
anyways.
forward
Yeah.
to.
So
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully it all falls down because what I'm scared of is I think when we talk about this in strategy is there's a international break between I think 28 and
28.
29.
Yeah,
So and a lot of things can happen, injuries. So let's watch this space. Hopefully things go according to plan.
yeah.
So going to our Kotu Classic Mini League update. Our
Manager.
manager of the week is the Musofia destroyer,
The-
Atanas Gadzev, with
uh,
90 points.
wow.
Boy. So you can go through his team and see like how well he did. So many
Yeah, yeah,
flag
yeah.
players.
Yeah. Firstly, we have our first manager from Bulgaria. I didn't know we have managers
Oh
in the
yes.
Kotu Classic Mini League from Bulgaria. So kudos to everyone or big up to everyone in Bulgaria. Yeah, his team is quite interesting because if you look at the team, all you see is red, red arrows. But still, he managed to be the manager of the week. So
Flag players, yeah.
that is amazing. 90 points, huge. I think that is mainly because of Salah. Salah was his captain with his
Salah,
42
yeah,
points. That was massive.
yeah.
And then in goal, he
Mm-hmm.
started with Ward. I would I would guess maybe he started Mendy and then Mendy did not play. This doesn't look like a team that is changing. And then Ward come on with his 11 pointer. And then Trent, Cash also 12 points for the Villa game. I think he got an assist in that one. Kyle Walker kept the clean sheet for City, 6 points. And then you go into the midfield. Like I said, Salah is the captain. Saint Maximin 1 point, Saka 2 points, Gordon 2 points, and Jesus, who is not even fit still, who has been out for a very long time, 0 points, and then Tony with 8 points. So his points basically come from his defense, like and Salah, yeah,
And
and of
Salah.
course Tony, yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
90 points, you don't have to
90
have
points in a game.
yeah,
Yeah.
not all your players have to return for you to be the manager of the week. It's
just
just
just need
have
to get
some
the
big
captaincy
returns
right.
here and there,
That is
and then
all.
you are good to
Yeah.
go. FPL is not
Captaincy,
it's
man.
not a difficult game after all, so you just need some 5 good players to give you points, right?
It's,
But
it's
kudos,
mostly
man.
it's
Big
mostly
up to
mhm.
Atanas Gazeev. I think Gaza is difficult, eh? The Musofia
Yeah,
destroyer.
Atanas
Good, yeah.
Gadzev. Gadzev. Yeah.
Congratulations for being the Kotu Classic Manager of the Week.
Apologies for butchering your name, but
Yeah. That
congrats
one,
again.
yeah, is difficult. But
Okay,
sorry
so
about that.
going to the top five of the Kotu Classic. There are some There's very limited movement. So dropping down to fifth is Bakau, or Cherno Job.
Uh-huh.
Moving up to fourth is the Chong FPL planner.
Yeah,
the Kong. Oh, not Chong. The Kong.
yeah.
Tiengo.
The Kong FPL
Um,
planner.
yeah, so third, second, and fourth, first position are still the same, no changes. The Pinnacle in third, McManaman second, and Mr. F, FC Hamarakov, sorry,
Yeah,
Mr. Fantasy still holding down that fourth position. Yeah, you
yeah.
can see 49 points, 39, 32. Like it was rough, man. It was rough, but yeah.
Definitely. I just want to mention a thing or two because the planner, he's somebody I'm very. I have a lot of conversation with on Twitter. He's very good FPL
Mhm.
manager, by the way. He's a real planner. If you think I plan in FPL, then you need to meet the FPL planner to understand how well this guy plans his teams. And he's so good. And it's important to mention that he is a Manchester United fan, by the way. And a big Manchester United fan, a real
that must have been
he will enjoy the Manchester United wins more than he will enjoy his own FPL success, kind of. But he went into this game week with 3 Liverpool players. Like, I could not comprehend that, because going into this game, like Manchester United Liverpool, you know, the form, it was like, if you are a Manchester United fan, you okay, I'll be so confident with the form. But this guy, he resisted that. He resisted the wildcard appeals. And he was the one telling people on Twitter, remember, don't follow what people are doing. Think what is best for your team, and then do those kind of things. He gives this kind of advice because he has quite a huge number of followers on Twitter. So for him, I tell him, for you to be a Manchester United fan, keep 3 Liverpool players ahead of this fixture, despite the form of the two teams. Like, just looking at your FPL team rather than the team I support, but also looking at the context and all those kind of things around it. Of course, you don't expect 7-0. Of course, that's like I say. But if you know this fixture very well, you will know the history and all those kind of things. It's not always, it does not matter who is form and those kind of things. And you take all these things into account to get 3 Manchester United players. And now, look at him. He's gone, I think before the break, he was around 600 or 1 million, around that point, 600K. And now he's into the top 60K. Like, he's climbing. That was after the World Cup break. Last year, I was with him in another league. And that was a league, I think he won in the end. But he also finished in the top 5K in the last 2-3 seasons consecutively. Yeah. He's that good a manager who, like, I tell you, I cannot do this. I cannot be a manager. It's all the fan in me will always kind of will always make some like, yeah. He's very good.
Going back to the derby, like, in past years, there is no way that Man U, doesn't matter how good they were, their form was, like, there was no way they will play at Liverpool and say, we're going to win. No. But because of our form and the record that we have shown, I know, okay, it was going to be difficult. I know possibly we might lose, but I was not expecting a 7-0. That's just the honest truth.
That is flattering. That result is
flattering. Nobody was going to expect like a 7-0. So, like, these things, I mean, kudos to him for being a true fan and then still going against that and seeing the bigger picture, because most people, I'm telling you, like, didn't even see this coming. Well, yeah,
of course. I can remember, I can see them late risers, you know, they are also, you know, United massive. Like, they have a lot of influence. When they speak, people listen on Twitter. That is the thing, right? So, like, I could see ahead of the game where they were. And you could, but it is what it is. They also had a terrible, I think his wild card was like 40 points or so, 42, I don't know. But it was really tough because they also get rid of the Liverpool players, which he kind of regretting. But anyways, let's move on to the next things.
In hindsight, that's it. Yeah. So looking at, so now we'll talk about the double game week 27, which is this coming game week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we look at the fixtures. I think how many teams have doubles?
4 teams actually. That is Brighton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Southampton.
Okay, so I think we all know. You see, we all know that the other 2 teams, Southampton and Crystal Palace, we were not really looking at their assets right now because of how poorly they've been doing.
Yeah,
but a double game week is a double game week. Zaha is back. You see, some of these small things is something you need to take notice of. But anyways, like we have here in this slide, Mitoma and Tony. In my opinion, I believe are the 2 best assets from these teams these 2 teams that have a double. So, looking at the fixtures, I think we wouldn't go into all of them, but let's see which ones stand out to us.
Yeah.
Which ones do you think?
I think the first fixture is good. The Liverpool fixture, like, especially those who keep the Liverpool players. I was hearing people wanted to move back to Liverpool, but I don't think if you wildcard it, you have to ride that one. Like, you have to take the hit. You cannot do it. Yeah. Yeah, if I was on the wild card, I would not do it. But I think it's a very good fixture for Liverpool, especially going into like coming back from this big win against United. But Bournemouth is not an easy fixture, right? We
They
saw
know they're
against
a different team now.
against
Yeah,
Arsenal.
they're
They
a
can be
different team
difficult
now.
sometimes, but they can be, in terms of quality, they are not there. But it can be a difficult fixture. And that is the first game of the game week, so it could be very, very, very interesting. Other than that fixture, the other fixture, Tottenham should have been a very nice one for your players like Kane. But now that the way Tottenham are going,
Yeah.
you don't know
Hmm.
you don't know what to expect from that game. Um, like you say, Brighton and Brentford are the exciting double game weekers. Southampton and Crystal Palace, they have a double. Like Southampton play Brentford and Manchester United, which is
Hmm.
not the best fixture. One away,
It's
one
not the
home.
best. It's not
Yeah,
the
and then
best.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace play Brighton and they play Manchester City. So that one too is
Man
not
City.
difficult. But as we know with Crystal Palace, like as we know with Zaha, he usually thrive. Wait, when you don't
In
expect
bigger
him to thrive,
games.
like when you give him
Yeah, in
this
the big
easy fixture,
games.
he does not thrive. So it
Hmm.
will not be a surprise if he does well. And what Prowse too, he just need one free kick to bang it in. So
Hmm.
those two players from those two teams, which maybe people don't pay too much attention to, that is Southampton and Crystal Palace, is Zaha and Ward Prowse, who people maybe might consider. But other than that, I think it's
Hmm.
all about Brighton and Brentford.
Yeah. I believe so too. But when I heard that Zaha was might play in this game, I was like, okay, then at least that gives us something different than what people have been talking about this past few games about the wildcard. Because I can tell you most people that wildcard have almost the same team:
Yeah.
three Brighton, three Brentford. So it's like the same. We're almost on the same players.
The same template.
Sometimes it's not as interesting, but that's what the game is telling us to do. So I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
on FPL Twitter we might be like a template, but on the grand scheme of things, if you look at FPL as a whole, maybe it's not as template as we think. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think you've mentioned the games that we might be interesting. So we'll see. My dilemma is starting Chilwell over Trippier
Yeah.
because Newcastle play Wolves and then Chelsea play Leicester.
Okay.
So Wolves is a better team right now, but then that's what I'm debating right now. But yeah, we'll get there when we talk about our
Yeah.
teams. So chip strategy. Can we just touch on that and see?
Okay, let's look at
For
let's look at Ben Credence table.
yeah,
The
the
guru, Ben the guru.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, this is the FPL
Spreadsheet guy.
Bible, right? Everyone is opening this one
Anybody
to see where we
who's
are heading to. But yeah, it's important to note, like we know 27 is a double, and 28 there's the blank, and 29 there's another double that is coming up, and there's a lot of doubles and blanks along the way until the final game week. Um, for me, right now at the moment, I have no plans in terms of when it comes to my bench boost and stuff like that. I'm still very open with an idea. I will not play it, of course, in game week 27, but there is a possibility I might play it in game week 29, or I might play it in game week 34. But it's also important to note that I only have the wild card and the bench boost route left with my chips, so it is important when I play them. But for now, I am very open when it comes to using them. I know people like you guys are already set on planning to use it on game week 29. How about you? What is your plan on the chips?
I mean, maximize the point. 27 is looking good, but I didn't wildcard to play my bench boost in 27. I wildcarded to because initially before I wildcarded, I was thinking of using the free hit for 28. But then
Yeah,
because of the FA
fixtures.
Cup fixtures and
Yeah,
how the big teams, some of the big teams were eliminated, so
Tottenham
it
and
at least it made it a
Southampton,
bit
right?
it made it a bit more flexible, so you can get through 28 if you wildcard properly.
Yeah,
Because I in mid 28, I think I have about 10 players
yeah.
that are playing. Really good players. So 29, I think I have about probably 11 or 13 players
You guys
that are
have enough,
playing. So
yeah.
it's a good time to bench boost. Yeah. So just to maximize the thing because I don't want to play my my free hit in 29 because the fixtures a bit funny. You might free hit
Yeah, I agree
get
with you
somebody
on that.
who next thing you know your team that you didn't even free hit is better than your free hit team. So
Yeah,
just
that
leave it
is
as
how
it
fun
is.
it is. Yeah, it's similar to the
You know,
previous game week we just passed, right? You are
yeah.
taking out players for, like for the doublers, but then those players might return.
Next thing you know, yeah. So, since I'm gonna hold on to my free hit for now. I don't
Yeah,
really know when I'll play it. Maybe 32 because that's gonna be the next biggest blank that we have right now.
yeah.
So maybe when things are a bit difficult in terms of players, you just play your wild card
You
because
just
at
play
least
your
I
free
have it
hit.
now. Something else in my back pocket. Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah,
the,
yeah,
the other chip that I'm also like I'm not really thinking about it right now is the triple captain.
yeah,
If you ask me, I cannot tell you when I'm planning on playing it.
yeah.
Right now it's yeah because I can't tell you because
Yeah, I
the
understand
players that
because yeah, you have to
I
wait for the
usually
fixtures for
yeah
big players to arise. Then
exactly
you
to
can
have
use
really
it.
good fixtures. Yeah, like they have.
Yeah,
I don't trust my triple captain with just anybody. Even Rashford as a Man U fan, it's difficult for me to triple captain him.
you
Even though people,
captain him.
I think like you've already triple captain him, but I can't because
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
big
yeah.
chip, man. Like you need to
It's
utilize it properly. So
you have to utilize it.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
hmm
like you say,
So
29 is very very funny, right? Like I think about the like if you look at in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it in the
mhm.
in the view of double game weeks, you cannot have more double game weeks than game week 29. But they are very
Yeah, you
very
can.
funny.
Yeah.
You look at a team
hmm
like Liverpool, they have Manchester City and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like tripling up, and they are both games are away from home. So you
hmm
might not be so comfortable triple captain in there, or playing
Yeah.
your bench boost there, or playing three Liverpool players, you know. And then you
Yeah.
look at Manchester
hmm
City; they don't double. Arsenal don't double. These are the two best teams in the league right now. So
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
are going
Yeah.
to do that, you are going to drop those players. And then you look at the other teams too. There is like the teams that have the entertaining or the exciting double are West Ham United,
Don't have.
Southampton, and Newcastle,
hmm
and Brentford. Brentford they play no, not Brentford actually.
Brighton and
Brighton. Brighton they play
Brighton. Yeah.
Brentford and Bournemouth. And
hmm
Bournemouth they play Fulham and Brighton. These are the three teams that have a double that you will see. Okay, these are good fixtures, to target. But those teams you don't want to get, like
The
you don't
rest.
want to get
Yeah.
Bournemouth players. You don't want to get West Ham players. They are not doing well right now. So it's a very very funny game week
Mhm.
to think about tips. So that's why for me I'm very open. I might just go with it and then play my 11 players and then bench some
Yeah.
players,
You never know.
even if
Those
it means
11
doublers.
players, yeah, those
Yeah,
11 players might actually bring you points with a single game. You never know with your single game
yeah,
week players. So it's a
definitely.
tricky one. It's not as like it's a
As
big in
exciting
terms
as
of
people
number of
think,
teams
huh?
that have, yeah.
Yeah,
It's big because more teams have doubles. But the teams that we want don't have
exactly. They don't
doubles
have
or
it.
have difficult
Exactly.
fixtures.
You said it well. Exactly. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the blanks are 29 and 32. Those are the big blanks. And then we have a biggest double in 29. The
29.
the
Yeah.
sorry, the blanks are 28 and
And
32,
32. Yeah.
and the biggest double is 29. So the
Yeah.
rest I think will be confirmed later on. So yeah, we
Yeah.
can move on.
Confirm later. 34 might be another like mini big.
Double.
So that's
hmm
mini big. It might be because of the blanks in 32 will fall into 34. So that we have a
hmm
little bit big double there. So that's where I'm targeting, but I don't know how many
hmm
games we're gonna have. Because okay, let's look at Ben Clearing summary. It's here. Game week 27, we have 4 doublers. Blank game week 28, we have 6 blanks. Double game week, um, double game week
29.
29, we have 12 teams doubling. And
hmm
blank game week 32, we have 4 blanks. Double game week 34, we have 4 to 6 doublers. And double game week 37, we have 4 to 6. So 34
Yeah.
and 37 are kind of similar. But if my feeling is that 34 will have more fixtures than 37. But yeah, that is just my feeling. It has nothing to do with backing or something. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go to where did we
Our
stop
final
again?
teams.
Our final teams. Yeah. I think this week is
It's
I think
funny,
this is
huh?
the main reason why we wildcarded. So I mean, there's nothing special about it, right?
Yeah.
Because of
Let's look at your
what happened
team.
in 26. What happened in 26? People are not really excited about 27 anymore.
They don't want to touch the teams, right? You don't want to touch the players again. And then
I'm not touching anything, man, to be honest. For me right now, it's just but anyway, it's FPL, man. That's why you play the game.
yeah,
Um
definitely.
so my team for 27 is Raya, who has a double. in goal. I'm going with a 3-4-3 actually.
You know, you're lucky there.
Chilwell
You know, I was trying to sell Sanchez to you. Sanchez
Yes, I
finally lost
remember. I
his.
was going to tell you that. Yeah, I was going to tell you that, and he lost his place to
He lost
Steele.
his place.
So that was a really good. What do you say it again? I dodged that bullet.
Yeah,
So
you
by
dodged the
now I would have
bullet.
been using my free transfer to to bring him there instead of
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that was just instinct, man. So Chilwell, and then Pinnock, and then Estupinian. Pinnock and Estupinian have doubles for this week, and in midfield. I think because Arsenal have a single game week, I guess took the best asset for Arsenal, which is Saka. He's
yeah,
there. March has a double. He's also there. Rashford. Um, he has a single against Southampton, and Mitoma also has
good
a double.
fixture.
So this is the reason why. Yeah, this is the reason why the wild card was put in 26 to get these Brighton guys, and then also three Brentford. Up top, I have Haaland and Tony, who's my captain right now, and then Kane. So I see people already transferring out Haaland. It's very weird. I know it's Crystal Palace away is a difficult fixture for Man City, but I mean it's still Haaland, man. Is it not
It
too
is
early?
hard.
Don't you think it's a bit too early to remove him
it,
now?
it,
This
it,
game
it,
week?
it, 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 it depends. Like for example, you have Tony in your team, right? If you did not
Mhm.
have Tony, like it could make sense because I could see Tony outscoring Haaland this game week with these two fixtures.
Yeah,
And
with two fixtures. Yeah, of
so
course,
if
yeah.
people are doing that for that, then it's good because and then Tony will have a game in double game in blank game week 28, and then Tony have a double
Hmm.
in game week 29 where Haaland on double. So if you look at it in the next 3 game weeks, if that is the move, I think it makes sense. But if you are getting rid of Haaland for who? Like
Watkins. I
let's
saw people like
for
for
Watkins,
Watkins, bringing for
like I
Watkins.
think that is early because Watkins has a single
Yeah,
game week, Haaland has a single game week, so you can
I was
wait
thinking
for
that
the next
too.
game week to do
Hmm.
that. Yeah,
I was
but it
thinking that
depends
as
on
well.
it
Yeah.
depends on who actually that's the move I'm thinking about. I've not done it yet, but it's a move that I'm thinking about. So yeah, but your team, I
Yeah.
think it looks solid. But yeah, I don't like Trippier on the bench. Like, of course,
So
Newcastle have not been doing Newcastle have not been doing well, and which is not cool. But like Trippier I think he's still the top scoring defender in the game. They had a tough few weeks. They played some tough
yeah, I think
fixtures.
so
They
too.
play Liverpool. They played Manchester City. And then yes,
Mm.
they had a dip in form. They had some suspension, some red cards here and there, some injuries here and there. But Trippier, he's still there. He's still on their set pieces. He's still on every free kick they have. Like they are still a very good defense. They are still the best defense in the league.
Mm.
If you look at the numbers, they are still the best defense in the
Hmm.
league. And they play at home against Wolves. So I will start him over Chilwell. Chilwell, who just played in the Champions
Mm.
League for Chelsea. Like he started in the last 3 or 4 games for Chelsea. So maybe he's due a rest. You never know. And Cucurella came
Possibly.
in that game, did very well at left center back. So the coach could feel okay. I could bench Chilwell now to give him that rest, like they are doing with James. Rest him today, give him the next game. Rest him.
Mm.
So Chilwell, he's coming from a long time injury. So like
They
if
don't
it
want
is
to
just
like
between
over.
the two of them, I would rather start Trippier than him. But if it is there is another way to start both of them, it will be even better.
That
But
was the
yeah,
thing. Like it's difficult to start both of them unless I bench
yeah. For me, if it is
Haaland
one,
or something.
yeah. If it is one between the two, I will go with Trippier. Trippier
Okay,
will get the nod
I
for
think
me.
I'll probably consider that and see maybe I can
Yeah,
start with him instead. All
yeah.
right. So captaincy, who
No,
are you
let's
going
look
with?
at my team first. I have not
Oh, your
done
team.
my
Yeah,
team.
your team.
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
2 weeks in a row, I have not done anything. It's the same team. I have not even changed my captaincy. Oh, did I? Why did I put
are
Salah
you
on
are
captain?
you
It should be
you?
Tony who's coming in. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You haven't made your transfers yet.
I haven't made my transfer. I have 2 free transfer right now, so I have to make a transfer.
Okay.
But because this week there has been some rumors, or not rumors, but there has been some information that there is a big snow in UK and stuff like that. Even the Brighton game might be
Mm.
cancelled, might be postponed. And if that's the case, they have a single instead of a double. So like I was watching Leicester's train yesterday, the place was full of snow and stuff like that. And if it is dangerous for fans to travel, then the games can be cancelled, which we have seen in the past. Burnley last season, their game against Tottenham cancelled because of the snow. So right now in UK, the snow is quite heavy. So that's why I want to wait my transfer as late as possible before I make them. But I have 3 transfers in mind right now, which is one is Ward. I want to get rid of her Ward for Steele. Because still now I got some conviction from De Zerbi that Steele is the first choice, and Steele is just 3.9 million. So let me just get Ward instead of Steele. I have the double from him, and then have the other double in game week 29. Where it's possible I can bench boost, but I'm not sure. And then the other move that I'm thinking is Tony to Haaland. Haaland to Tony. That is the move I am thinking. I need a striker. It could be Darwin to Tony, or it could be Haaland. But because I might keep Darwin because Liverpool have the double after the blank, so it's easier to keep Darwin than Haaland. And the other move that I was thinking of selling Salah after that game week, but now I will not do it. Do it. The other move is Akanji to a defender, Brentford defender. Brentford. That is Pinnock or the other guys, me or Henry. So these are the three moves that I will do, but I'm gonna leave it late, very late before I do the moves.
That's news to me that there's heavy snow in the UK. I think that this week it's been a bit weird because there's been some thunderstorms, not thunderstorms, but torrential rains here too. So maybe it's just going around. Yeah. Hopefully they don't, because it would just shock, man. To be honest, imagine going all.
It was for the wild card,
and then have a game cancelled. Come on, man.
It will be really difficult. I know.
Catch a break. Let's just catch a break. Yeah, man. Come on. I mean, yeah. Well, we hope it's not cancelled, man. We hope things just go back to normal and we just have our games,
Yeah.
But yeah. So Captain Tony, right?
Yeah, captain is between these two, right? Tony and Mitoma.
I
don't have
Tony
Mitoma.
and Mitoma. Oh, you don't have Mitoma yet.
Like, I'm so disappointed I don't have Mitoma, because I had this Mitoma call since last year when they played for Japan in the World Cup qualifiers. Japan against Australia. Mitoma coming on in the second half, scored 2 goals. And Japan won the game 2-1, and then they qualified for the World Cup. That was the game that qualified them to the World Cup. And I watched this guy when he came on, how electric he was. He was so good. Then I went to Twitter and then I wrote. Then I realized he was a Brighton player then last season, but he was on loan.
Oh, he was loaned out.
And then I check his data, his stats, how is he doing in it. And then I watch him. I say, okay, might Mitoma be the next big thing in FPL next season? Then I tag us and what's his name? What's his name? Joe, yeah, Joe, because they are Brighton fans. And I just left it there. So I'm so happy to see him doing what he's doing, because I kind of made the call. But I have not get him in my team all season, even though I'm so I enjoy watching him, honestly. Yeah,
he's an interesting player to watch.
Yeah, but I think they are the best 2 captains. But yeah, I will go with Tony definitely if I bring him in.
Yeah, because he's on penalties, and also I think it's the way they play. He's their talisman. If you watch them play, he's involved in almost everything that they do in attack when it comes to attacking. So it's 20 for me.
Yeah.
So that's double game week 27 preview. Come to the end of the pod. Yeah, Chama, any last words? Because it's been a while since we put so this was good catching up and discussing our teams and things like that. Putting all our ideas out there so we can dissect
them. Definitely. It's been a while. I think 2 game weeks we missed, and
we haven't
a lot of things happened there, during those 2 game weeks. But it's good to be back, and we always apologize again for not lacking that consistency that we used to have. Because things are much harder
every
now.
Week, things are difficult now.
Bruce is in US, I am in Japan, so it's quite difficult, to be on time all the time, or to have that like our
scheduling. The schedule that
scheduling is quite difficult. But yeah, guys, just bear with us and continue to support the pod by liking and subscribing. And also, if you are interested in other stuff, in other football stuff relating to Gambian football, there will be a big game for Gambia tonight.
Finals.
The first time ever we have a Senegambia final in an African elite level, because under 20 is we have the national teams, and then we have the under 23, the under 20s. This is the first time ever at any level Gambia and Senegal will be locking horns in the final for Africa as a whole, which is huge because we know how close these 2 countries are. As they say, it's gonna be the Senegambia derby. If you are interested in that, we have a lot of stuff on that on the Jolly Football Bantamweight YouTube channel. Please go and check it out, and also give us a subscribe to the channel and the thumbs up. Bruce, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm not following the under 20. Is it under 20 Africa or is it under 20 World Cup?
No, it's under 20 Africa. So, but we qualify for the under 20
Okay.
World Cup, which will be played in
World Cup.
Indonesia
Okay.
next in May. So, Gambia and Senegal,
Okay.
Nigeria and Tunisia will be participating for
Qualify.
African countries
Okay.
in the
That's
under
good.
20 World Cup in Malaysia. Oh, in Indonesia in May. Yeah.
Yeah. So good luck to our boys. We hope that we get the cup and then put a statement out there in international football that our boys are talented and I think they deserve to be recognized. Honestly,
Definitely.
go Gambia, go Scorpions.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for always supporting the pod. We are the Kotu Classic FPL podcast, and catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
But